not uncommon for somebody who's good in our program and has good grades to leave with $40,000, $50,000 in scholarships.
Welcome to everything real in Fredericksburg, from local government to economic development and real estate. If it's happening in Fredericksburg, Texas, we talk about it. Now your host, LeeAnn Bailey.
Well, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us on Everything Real in Fredericksburg. I'm LeeAnn Bailey. I'm a realtor here in Fredericksburg with Portfolio Real Estate. We're the luxury brand of Keller Williams. We do farm and ranch and luxury real estate and short-term rentals and everything in between. For those listening that may not know, the goal of the podcast is to reach out to local businesses and service providers and get to know what little things that are going on every day in Fredericksburg, but also get to know the characters in town. And I've got quite the character here today. So without further ado, I'll introduce you to Brad Roeder. He's with the Gillespie County Extension Agent Office. I said it wrong, Gillespie County Extension Office. So welcome, Brad. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you, LeeAnn. It's a pleasure, and definitely good to be here. And I do work for the A&M system. We are part of the A&M system, and so we call ourselves about 4 different things, but a lot of people just call us the county agent. If you're looking us up, it is the extension service. Sometimes it's listed under Gillespie County, sometimes it's listed under Texas A&M. So we've gone through several name changes over the past couple of years. So if you're looking for us, you just maybe have to Google something different each time. But Great to be here, and to tell you a little bit about myself, I am a longtime resident here of Gillespie County. I work for, again, the Gillespie County Extension Office, and at that office we have 4 different agents that cover everything from ag and natural resources, which is myself. We also have Miss Beth McMahon, who does the horticulture, and so would be of great interest to probably many of your clientele. Then we have Shay Nebgen, who does health and human services, healthy living, healthy lifestyles, cooking, nutrition, stuff like that. And then we also have Miss Emily Grant, who coordinates our 4-H program, and so you may have some younger families moving in that want to get involved, and we can visit a little bit about 4-H and what it does a little later. But right now we have about 450 youth in 4-H. We're probably what we call a Tier 1 county in the state in terms of having 4 agents in the office and having that many youth involved. So pleasure to be here.
Wow. Well, that was a lot of information all at once. I love it. Like, get down to the business.
Yes.
As I start thinking about what guests I want to be here, I want to be all inclusive, and the extension office is so inclusive because you work with youth and you work with landowners. It's all across the community and different people and different topics. And I know when we started talking about, well, what do we want to talk about today? There were so many, and there's no way we'll ever get to all of those today. But I think right now, drought, the lack of rain, we've been really fortunate in the last month to have some really nice rains, and especially around Gillespie County. And I know sometimes those will run down and fill up our aquifers. And so I want to kind of start there because that's huge. And so what kind of resources would a landowner or just a community member find from you guys on water?
So we do, we have so much going on in extension that we are a little fragmented, so sometimes it's hard to find things, but rainwater harvesting is a huge one that individually a landowner can do, or a homeowner, and that's what it boils down to, is what can I do individually first before I go start screaming at the government or trying to get some regulations changed. So that's a big thing in my mind. What can I do myself? Rainwater harvesting is a good one. It is kind of expensive sometimes to put in, but once you do it and you learn how to manage that system, it can be very beneficial. One thing about rainwater harvesting, it's more of a lifestyle change too. It's not just including the system or installing the system in your home, but it's just figuring out ways that I can reduce water usage around my house. And when you have an unlimited supply, we think coming out of a tap, you don't think about that. But when you have so much in a tank outside, well, do I need to take a 10-minute shower? There's different things you can do. And so those resources are on there that talk about that lifestyle change too. So,
the more I learn about water, and Clinton Bailey, the city manager, is my husband, and so we live and breathe water conservation at my house. And one of the things that I learned through him is that really outdoor watering and outdoor water usage is really the greatest consumer of water. And so we kind of grew up with the shower thing, which is very important, but sometimes we don't think about how much water we're using outdoors with landscaping.
Yes.
And just, I know sometimes people just water and I'll see sprinklers running after it rained, and it's just not necessary because we just get in that habit of running
Yes.
our sprinklers. So I like the idea of knowing this is how much water is in the tank, and we want to make sure it goes for as long as we can.
And outdoor landscaping is important. I mean, healthy trees can definitely shade your house and make an environment more friendly and more inviting to live. So, when you plant those trees, we do have to water them a lot, but after they're established 4 or 5 years, they're gonna go and continue and need maybe some minimal water during certain times of the year. Grass and maybe some of our landscaping, like our flowers and stuff, utilize a lot. And not that it's not important to have a little area to have fun in and have a little space, but just being realistic in what do I need and what do I need to use, I think is important as you look at that.
So it sounds like, I was real impressed with how you said horticulture earlier. You nailed it. You've said it a few times. Me, not so much, but maybe you pair the rainwater catchment with talking with your horticulturist.
Yes.
And then that way you're getting good drought resistant
Yes, ma'am.
plants or something that fits when you want to conserve water.
Yeah, and Beth's real good. She has those lists. She knows that. She lives and breathes it at her house. So
Nice.
she can help you find those plants that are a little hardier and don't require the constant watering. So
I like that. I think sometimes buyers don't always realize that you guys are such a resource for soil testing and, aside from the water. And what else, if you're buying and you want to know what can I do, or gosh, right now we've got stickers like crazy and everybody's like, people that aren't used to being here with stickers, they don't know what to do.
So we have tons of resources, just realistically anything to do with the land from, I may not be an expert in it because there's so many different areas out there, but we can find those people. But from the legal side, just working with your neighbor, how to get along with your neighbor. I mean, we can offer you advice. Now, whether that happens or not, that's for you and your neighbor to decide. Well water, whether you're running whether you're doing wildlife business or wanting to lease your land to hunters, whether you want to run sheep, goats, cattle, chickens, we can provide those resources. We may not be experts in all those, but we can definitely get the basics down. Gardening with Beth and orchards and we have the Bit Lab here that's huge in grapes, and so pretty much if you can dream it on your land, it has to do somewhat with ag or natural resources, we can probably find the resources for you.
That's awesome. I love that. And so y'all do a lot of classes too. Like you don't have to just come in individually, right?
We do, and so we try to listen to what the public is interested in, and have those classes. And so we try to advertise those in the newspaper, or you can get on our emailing list. If you go to our website, you can sign up for that. We have about 1,500 people on that. So, but those are the ways we advertise and get out the programs that we have. And we do a lot with CEUs, and so CEUs is certified education. Continuing education with individuals who want to use herbicides or pesticides. I know that can be a 4-letter word in some avenues, but if
when those stickers start sticking you in the foot.
Yeah, so and getting back to stickers, so stickers is a real good one because one thing that people don't know about stickers is, so a lot of people want the organic method of doing something and they want it to come in a bottle like a herbicide that they can go out there and spray. Well, there are a few like that, but with stickers we don't have one. So it comes down to a little bit of hard work and labor. One of the tough deals about stickers is it's a grass growing within your grass. And so that's why there's not a lot of products out there to kill them. Because we can kill the grass burrs, but we're probably going to kill your grass too.
Mm-hmm. See, I never heard that, and I'm an old farm girl, so
Yeah.
I just I thought my dad just made me pick up stickers for keep me busy, but there's probably a goal out there for that.
Yeah, to make you work hard, so you got to where you were today. But so we did have some chemicals on like MSMA that got taken off the market, or it's highly regulated now. We could spray that over a yard and get rid of the stickers pretty easy. So whenever we start spraying a grass herbicide over another grass, rate becomes really important. So there are some herbicides out there that might work, but they don't allow the general landowner to use them because they're probably going to double it up if a little works good, twice works better, and so they're going to kill their entire yard, and
Yeah.
they don't want to
They freak
replant everybody's yard.
Yeah.
So there are some out there. Pre-emergents are very important in controlling grass burrs, catching your grass, and then as we get back to water management, not having an area that's so huge that you can't maintain, and actually going out there and pulling grass burrs. If you want to get rid of them, there's truly, it's, catching those that the pre-emergent doesn't help get, or your grass lawnmower doesn't catch. So a little sweat equity.
I'm gonna put my daughter to work with that. Let her
Yes.
take care
Good
of
luck on that.
some stickers. So speaking of youth, it's incredible the number of youth. You said 450. I guarantee you've got more than that. But how many youth lives you've affected here in a good way, positive way, and the youth that are leaving Gillespie County with the partnership between you guys and the school. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the youth here.
So we have a great program. We work heavily with FFA departments. I mean, we're both in ag. They're more in high school, and they do have a junior program, but we work hand in hand with them and just have an amazing relationship. And realistically, that's because of our parents and because we're volunteers. They want us to have that relationship, and so they make it happen. And other schools where they don't have that great relationship, it's the parents don't force it. And so I do want to commend all the adult leaders and the parents who come together and make us work together and be a team. And so, but one of our big goals is, one, we want to grow good kids. I mean, we want them to get out and be able to public speak and have a work ethic and have some knowledge when they get out. So most of our programs are designed by that, through competition. And so, we do everything from judging to public speaking. We have kids that go and judge meat, so we think, well, where would that come in? Well, how many people go to the grocery store and know which meat to buy once they
Good point.
get to be a housewife? So you learn just life skills like that. So, and in the end goal, obviously, when they leave high school, or when we're kind of not done with them, but their career in high school is over, is we try to get them as many scholarships as we can. And so that is just not uncommon for somebody who's good in our program and has good grades to leave with $40,000, $50,000 in scholarships.
It's incredible, isn't it?
We also have the youth show. Probably the number one or the most high priority is the livestock show here in Gillespie County. I mean, the community members come together and raise about $1.5 million for those exhibitors, which a lot of that goes into college funds or maybe goes into some type of farming operation. So just hats off to our community and to those leaders and all the volunteers who help put on the show. Just an amazing organization.
Yeah, I think if you've never been to a county show, and especially the auction part of it, you don't get a sense of what really a community is like until you go experience that. Because when you see, it kind of gets me teared up. I swear, I don't know why you said that, but when you see these young kids and they're sending off their animals that they've worked with since the crack of dawn until late at night, and it's tear jerking. It gets me every time. That's the old farm girl in me. But to see these kids grow and become, and then go up to school and be able to handle so much diversity and prepare for life without parents, it's huge. And then the friendships they make over the years, it's incredible.
Yeah, my daughter, she's a senior this year, and so she knows people all over the state.
Yes.
She's again, the showing in 4-H just opens the doors. There's so many statewide programs. She applied to go to an international trip to Australia this year. I never had that opportunity.
Wow.
She did. She was the alternate, so maybe next year. But me and my wife are kind of, do we really want to send our daughter to Australia?
Yeah, you're like, okay, but at least, but that's part of the experience,
yes.
right? It's not just always getting to do everything you want.
Yeah,
You have to
failure
take
is
it.
huge.
That's exactly
Failure
right.
is huge.
Yeah,
And
there just might be another opportunity that's better.
If you want to fail, come to 4-H. We can put you in a contest and you'll fail tomorrow. And either you're going to learn how to work harder and get better, or you're just going to.
Resilience.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
Well, my daughter was in FFA and she did public speaking, and they didn't have that back when I was a kid. You pretty much raised animals, and the diversity that's come through these organizations is impressive.
So as we become a more urban state, we have expanded our curriculum hugely, especially in those urban areas. And so when those urban areas bring it on, we can join in those contests as well. One of the biggest ones or here in the county is robotics.
yes.
And so, I mean, you want to talk about going into the future. I think that not only in ag, but in all of production, robotics is going to be huge. And so it's neat to see those kids program, build robots and have them do a task. It's very, very neat.
So essentially, you just know that there's a spot for every kid.
Mhm.
I mean, the cooking is so, I remember being a kid in 4-H back in the day and learning how to cook, and I loved it so much, and it's part of why I love cooking today is because I got to go be with my friends, and the lady that always cooked was, so cool, or taught us how to cook, and I just think there's a spot for everybody. So.
There is, and we try to make the contest fun. I mean, not all of them can be, but like cooking, it's called Food Challenge now. It's one of the things they do. And so 4 kids get together, they get so many ingredients. It's kind of like the TV shows. And they have to prepare a product in 30 minutes and then get up and talk about it, why they did it, the nutritional value. And so just makes them think on the fly, and very, very good for life skills.
Well, we have an ongoing joke at my house. It's like food challenge every night because I've gone to the store, I've got these 4 ingredients and I gotta make it work. So Clinton's always like, I don't know how you put things together. And I'm like, by the grace of God, because I had nothing else. Been watching too much Food Channel. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you or they want to know more information about the Extension Office, what do they need to do?
So, I mean, we can contact us several different ways, and the phone number is just 997-3452. We have 2 secretaries there that probably know more than we do, and if they can't help you, they will leave a message for one of the agents, and they're great help there for the office. And then obviously the website, all of us get email constantly.
Yes.
And so, we'll say if you do, I love email because it kind of stacks everything I got to do up, but I hate responding to email. So if you email us, please include your phone number so we can give you a call back, maybe a good time. Sometimes our answers can get rather lengthy, so
Yes.
that's one way. And just walking in. We're open 8 to 5 almost. Every once in a while we'll have an office lunch gathering somewhere, so we'll close for lunch. But more than likely, if it's 8 to 5 and not a holiday, our office is open and ready to accept people.
And y'all are on where? Where are you located?
So we're out Tybedale past Hilda's, kind of at the business park, Business Court Drive, and
Just before the airport.
Just before the airport. And so if you take a left, I say the back way to the airport or the fairgrounds, you go one more entrance and we're there turn into the left. So.
There you go. I don't think people exactly know that y'all are over there. It's a great location.
And we still have a lot of people that go to the old office because somewhere on Google it still lists the 95 Frederick Road. And so even though people have been to our office and they forgot, they still look it up and go.
It's like get in the car and just drive and don't think much about it. Going back to the email part, I like when people send me an email so I can prepare and get all the information gathered up and then call and talk to you about it. So I can see how that can be beneficial. Just give me all the things you want to hear about and we'll gather it up and send it to you, or call and talk you about through it and give you the links. I look in the website all the time and just see what's going on, what classes are coming up, or what's happening locally that is a hot topic. And so that website is pretty impressive.
Yep.
It's got a lot.
Yeah, and so like I said, we've gone through some regime changes, so they've tried to rebuild our website where it's easier to use, but there's so many topics out there. I just tell people, Google what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Add Agrilife or TAMU if it's grass burr control or something, and sometimes you can get those things to pop up without navigating through all the. And if you call us, like we talked about, I'm not an expert in ponds right now. Evidently we've got a huge algae bloom going on with the amount of rain that we've had. Tanks are filling up and a lot of nutrients have flushed into those tanks, and so we have a great aqua plant service there on one of the websites. If you just Google aqua plants, it has pictures of each plant that grows in your tank. If you click on that, it'll tell you how to control them, what they're good for.
No idea.
And I'm not an expert on that, so people call me. That's the first place I go to.
Yeah.
And they also have some webinars on there that tell you how to manage your ponds for fishing and things like that, and keep the weeds out. A lot of people think weeds are good for fish, but they're actually not. So
I see.
a lot of people think clear ponds are good for fish, and they're not.
Yeah.
So.
But it's always good to be the source of the source. I'm really good at being the source of the source. I don't want to be the source because then I don't want people to say, LeeAnn Bailey said so, because that happens a lot. But it's good that they call you.
Yes.
I think that speaks volumes. That, who do I call? I'm going to call Brad because I think he'll know where to send me.
Great.
Always do. All right, so now what I wanted to do is just talk about you personally. I said earlier I like to get to know the characters, and I think you're a character. Before you start, I wanted to tell you a story, and I've never told you this, but when I first moved here, it's been 10 years ago this month, and seems like yesterday, I briefly met you, but we didn't know each other that well. And I went back home for the Stockstone Rodeo and saw you in a steakhouse, and we gave the wave, and I thought, well, he'll just keep passing. And you came over to the table and you stopped and met my family and visited, and that really meant a lot to me. That was like a super kind gesture that I'll never forget. I never told you that, how much it meant to me, but we didn't even know each other that well. And so I think that speaks volumes to the kind of people that are here. And so I wanted to ask you a little bit about your history, being in Fredericksburg and your family and some of the things that you guys like to do.
So we, born and raised here, all my ancestors, I think, come over on the ships. And so we have a running joke. My kids have to marry outside Fredericksburg because me and my wife were related to everybody.
That's true.
So married a hometown girl, and we have 2 kids that are wonderful. So we help with the family ranch, my brother and my parents, and live out in the White Oak community, which is west of Fredericksburg. I live in the Harbor School District. I have a Fredericksburg phone number, and we live closest to Kerrville, so we're kind of out there.
You're in the triangle.
Yeah, we're out there in the triangle, but we run a lot of sheep and goats, a lot of cattle, and do farming, so kind of just do a little bit of everything, and love it, and that's what we enjoy doing. We made the joke when I walked in, it's Friday, and now we get to go to our real job and really work, and so it's, but what I do, I go home and I do what I preach every day.
That's what I was going to say. That's what's cool. Sometimes, you get somebody that has only been educated in it, doesn't practice it every day, and goes through the hardships of what every landowner goes through, or the joys of it too. So. And
there is, we talked about that. They've let ag agents, I guess, do more personally with ranching and stuff. We don't have to move around as much. We can come back to our home place, and so. As I make decisions on my personal property, whether to have to sell half your herd because it's getting dry, those are huge investments or decisions. And so knowing that heartache that you're going to have to go through to make that decision helps you visit and consult with people. And, just dealing with family issues. I have people who call and they say, well, how do I get along with my brother who doesn't want to do anything on the ranch and yet I want to do it? And so, I've been through all of that.
You can kind of be that middleman and ease the tension a little bit. And not
only, it's also share that they're not the only ones in that predicament. I mean, a lot of families go through that. This property has become so valuable that, and family's important. Remembering the bottom dollar at the end of the day is not the most important thing. So sometimes you got to sacrifice a little and give up a little, but keeping your family around you, I think, is very important.
Amen. I totally agree with that. That makes me think, and I would never want to bash anybody or talk bad about agents, but I think that's why it's important to use local real estate agents, whether you're buying or selling, because you're talking about kind of the daily things like drought and any issues that we might have. I know for a while there was some like deer, a lot of deer were dying off because there was something that a bacteria or something. I'm misspeaking. I don't know, a virus or something. And so I think it's so important to stay local with who you're using because of those issues, but also because we know people that can help you navigate that, whether it's positive or negative. But if you're not here and you're not living it every day, you don't really know what all's going on. So I have to put that out there because it sounds like a good time to say that. And I like a whole lot of people in a whole lot of towns, but sometimes it's just best to kind of keep it local. So what do you guys do when you're not working?
I don't know.
I know. You just got back from a big trip with the kids.
Yeah, we did. We went to Roundup for 5 days and took a lot of volunteers. 3 of us agents went down there, 35 different kids, and we had contests every day. And so I think we brought home $20,000 in scholarships just from that trip. So that was huge. But
I like that they call it Roundup because you really are like, there's a lot of kids, and it's like herding sheep.
It is. So
maybe cats, herding cats.
Yeah,
too.
so we have like 4 or 5 contests going on a day. We're bus drivers that week, realistically. So
and chaperones.
Yes. But I'll be honest. My job we're involved in a lot of the organizational events that go on, like with the stock shows, the wild game dinner, and so not that we don't go and have a blast at those, but we are there working. Also a big volunteer at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds, and so summer horse races, we spend a lot of time there. If you come through the front gate, probably going to see me close there. Trying to get out of a little bit of that and relax just a little bit more, but realistically,
sounds like you're retiring.
What I enjoy about Fredericksburg is just coming to town and shopping at my local places I do business and seeing those people in the stores. Truly, that's what I enjoy about coming to Fredericksburg and doing.
Yeah, you're kind of a fixture. I mean, I see you, you're always friendly, everybody's talking to you. You and I seem to eat at the barbecue place
Yes.
at the same time all the time. And there's old Brad, I don't know how you get anything, your lunch finished because everybody's visiting with you. And I know how that is, people enjoy talking and catching up.
Well, we think in our office we're working, but realistically, unless people come or make the phone call. So when we get out into the community during the day, we answer just as many questions or more than we probably do in our office. So so it's good to be out and not just be sitting in the office. And so if you see me and got a question, feel free. I'm pretty good. If I'm gotta go, I'm not gonna be rude, but I'll say, hey, I don't have time today. Give me a shout at the office or something like that. But don't feel free to come up and visit with us.
And you won't bite somebody's arm off at lunch.
No.
Hard. Well, so you have one that's going to graduate.
Yes.
What are her plans?
She really doesn't know yet. So no.
I just had that with Sterling. I mean, she kind of did, but.
So she wants to go to JUCO because of her judging experience. She wants to go to junior college and judge, and that would be fine with me. Save some money, maybe not. And then we're looking at. We've got lots of friends at Tech. We've got lots of friends at A&M. One of our good friends just become head of the department down there, so that's kind of going to be neat and cool.
My vote would be Texas Tech.
I know.
If you haven't heard.
I will be honest. We went there for a tour 2 weeks ago, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, good people.
You get on the campus and you don't even feel like you're in West Texas.
I know. I don't speak so quick. Just wait till the fall.
The wind? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Wait till the fall, and then it gets cold, and then the spring, the winds start blowing when the storms start coming in.
Yeah. My daughter, who's only grew up here, it's kind of like, she's like, I don't know if I want to go to school out here. So.
Yeah, that's how Sterling is. She got spoiled really easy for the beauty. I don't think sometimes we recognize what we really have here. It is truly, when I come over the hill from West Texas, I call it the hill like outside of Mason to Fredericksburg, everything it completely changes, and it's so green and nice, and the quality of life and the pride of ownership here is pretty impressive. Well, Brad, thank you so much for coming and visiting with me and sharing your resources. And we'll put your contact information on the copy part of the YouTube and podcast. And hope we can come back again and tell us what's going on, down the road. And if there's any issues that we could be watching for. I always say issues. I know they're not really issues. They're just subjects. But we wish your daughter the best moving forward and appreciate you being here.
Yes, thank you, LeeAnn. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks for listening to Everything Real in Fredericksburg. Get more information about the Fredericksburg area and contact LeeAnn at labaileyrealestate.com.